Hi, I'm back with another house tour, and look how cute this house is. Okay, this house we absolutely loved, and it came with a project plan. So, this is not the actual layout of the house, but a plan for how the house could become with, I don't know, 8 or 9 different apartments. Obviously, we're not going to do that, but it is kind of cool that it already has a project plan. This is the house sort of layout. There's the house on the right, and then sort of in the middle, there's a terrace, that shaded middle space. And then in the very back, there is the garage, which would be Peter's workshop. But like, look how cute this house is with the pink and the yellow. I absolutely loved it. It used to be a restaurant, so it is very big. Like, the whole bottom floor was a restaurant. There's a terrace off the back for outdoor seating. It is in a cool location. It's not super foresty or mountainy, but that's okay. And then this is the main entrance. So you walk in and you're in this great room with a fireplace, and then there's a room off to the side. And in the back, there's a room with a mural. That's a mural on the wall. Like, how cool is that? This is the kitchen. It's kind of industrial restaurant feel, but I like how big it is and I can make it work. This is the second floor already, and I think this would be the guest room, the office that we would want, and then there's also a main bedroom. Yeah, I think this is the main bedroom, and it has another room attached to it. You can't get through to it through the hallway, so it would become the ensuite bathroom, which is great. It has this like main staircase, grand staircase in the middle of the house that goes up to the attic, which, I mean, it's like tall enough that it could be a second livable floor, but obviously we don't have money for that. So, the area, we live in Prague, which is where we always start, and this house is off to the west, which is towards Karlovy Vary. I've shown you other houses that are in this area. The one we were really thinking we would get is in this area. Didn't end up working out, but here's another house in the same sort of area. So I think it's still about 30 minutes from Karlovy Vary and maybe an hour and a half outside of Prague. So it is a little bit far, but not too bad. It's also close to Marianske Lázně, which, if you know this area, there's a lot of like hot spring towns and villages. And there's actually one that's only like 5 minutes away, that there's sort of a popular but small hot spring village. So we could potentially have people come for Airbnb situation and renters. So, and this house has a space for it. So this is the main entrance. You walk up this like wooden staircase into the entrance of the house. It's really cute. I really like it. I love the pink and the yellow. We would definitely have to like fix the facade up. It does create a little bit of an issue for insulation, because usually you put insulation on the outside and we would not want to ruin the facade. Okay, on this side it doesn't look that great, but we would fix it up. The windows have like an outer shutter that you can pull down to protect them, and then this is the sort of backyard area. There is this gate that is off the main street, and on the other side of the gate is the terrace. So this could be outdoor seating, which just makes me think, okay, in the future, I would have to open a cafe, right? Okay, I kind of filmed the video backwards. As in, I did a whole tour of the house, we made it up to the attic, and I was like, oh, right, I should film. So you can see me coming down the stairs. In the middle of the staircase, there's this like little storage area, which I think is really nice. And then you go down all the way to the first floor. So I put it, I don't know, in order. This is the first floor, anyways. So if you're coming down the stairs, off to the right is the kitchen. There's sort of like a hallway, and there's this like pass through window for serving guests. Obviously, I was struggling to open the door, and I was scared I was going to break it. So I ended up stop playing with it because I did not want to break anything. So yeah, this is the kitchen. It is really big, which I love. It does feel kind of industrial. Obviously, it was a restaurant, but I love how big it is. So that would be great. I love cooking. So yeah, would be very, very happy in that kitchen. So you go through the hallway and sort of past the stairs, and then you're in the main, like the main room that you enter from the front door. Obviously, there's the front door right there. So there's this huge big main room. There is a fireplace. Didn't take the best video, but there's a more private-ish room off to the side, and then in the back, there's this room with a mural. I have no idea how we would do it, but I would want to protect this mural. I don't know, like maybe just put a glass over it, like not even, I don't know, maybe we could hire someone to try and fix it, but whatever. I would want to fix that mural and keep it. This is actually the second floor. I know I'm coming down the stairs again, but this is the second floor. There's a spare, so this is off to the right. There's this tiny room which we think we could turn into a bathroom, and then there's the main room which we would have like a kitchen wall, living room, and then this would be a bedroom, and we would turn this into an Airbnb like rental unit. So it could be totally blocked off. There's a doorway there. We could make it a locked door so that that side is a rental unit. And then on the left side of the staircase would be our living space. So we would have a spare bedroom, friends, family, guests would love that. We would have the office as well. It's very big, plenty of space. So that would be great. There's also the two windows. I really love natural light. So that's super nice. Plus, I think this room is on the main street. So it would be a little bit noisier there, but again, it's an office. And then here is the main bedroom. So this would be our main bedroom. And it's the only room that has an attached room that doesn't have a door to the hallway. So there's only a door into the bedroom. So obviously, this would become the main, the ensuite bath, right? So we'd have our ensuite bath, which it's huge. I could make a luxury bath. So I would be very excited for that because I could have the shower, I could have a standing tub and a freestanding tub, and it would be so nice. This is the attic. I think I mentioned before in the video that the beams are high enough that you could definitely create another living space up there. I think that's with the project plan at the beginning that I showed you had, 8 or 9 different apartments. Like the house turned into 8 or 9 different apartments, and I think it's because they included the attic as living space. We would not have the budget to do that, so I don't know, we would just slap some boards over the floors. But anyways, I'm walking back down the stairs again because that's kind of where I started filming, and then I just chopped up the videos. But yeah, here's another little storage space, which I think is great. Anyways, so this is the walkthrough of the entire house. And I mean, I loved this house. It is massive though. So the house is 4,500 square feet, which is around 420 meters squared. It is a massive house, which okay, I just keep picturing all of my family and friends coming to like congregate and stay, have summer parties, all of that. I have quite a few friends, but they all live in Prague, in the Czech Republic, anyways. They all live in Prague. So if they were going to come visit, if it's an hour and a half drive or twice that, if they're taking public buses or trains, obviously I'm going to want them to stay overnight. So having an Airbnb rental unit, some people can stay there. We have our guest bedroom also. There's the downstairs pull out couches. There would be space for everyone to come and visit. And like I said, it is massive, but we would want either, I don't know, maybe full, like long term renters, maybe on one side. I don't know if we would want that, but for sure, we would want the option of sort of a short term rental. So, Airbnb kind of unit. So, that would take up a good chunk of the space, of the square footage. So, it's not like all of the space is just for us to live in. I mean, a lot of it would be, but still, I'm just thinking of how we would use the space. We wanted to have the garage for Peter to have his workshop. The house has it. I know I didn't show it in the videos, but it was out back. It is pretty run down, but he would make it work. It's fine. And then in the house, on the ground floor, we can have a big, nice, open living room and space to gather and have guests. There's the fireplace. There's the spare room. I could have a library. Okay, I love Beauty and the Beast. I am Belle. This could be my real life castle. And that mural, that would be my library. How awesome would that be? I would love that. I would love that so much. And I have the huge kitchen, so that would be amazing. I would be in heaven. And then in the future, I could also use the space to open like a cafe or something, a bakery. Okay, I don't bake, but a cafe. I could do drinks. I could order in baked goods. Wouldn't that be so nice? In the Czech Republic, they have them in many touristy outdoorsy locations where there are like kiosks and there's only outdoor seating. You can't sit inside, which I would prefer. I wouldn't want a bunch of people coming into my home, but they have that terrace, so we could create outdoor seating. There's a bathroom right inside the door when you enter the house. So that would be easy for guests to use. And basically, I would have an outdoor only seating cafe, which I think that would be so awesome. And I would just run it during, the nice weather months. Very chill. Okay. Yeah, I would. I mean, it's a dream. Okay. it's not, it's maybe not feasible, but in my dreams, it sounds very nice to have my own personal like Bell library, to have a giant kitchen to cook in, to have our office, our main bedroom with the ensuite bathroom, and then to have a little cafe that I can run whenever I feel like it. And when I don't feel like it, it would just not be open. Anyways, it's a dream. I love the house. Okay, I didn't tell you how much it costs. I feel like it's affordable-ish. One, it already is connected to the sewer. It's connected to the local water. So those things easy peasy off the list, don't have to do it, right? And it does need a new roof. So that's a big ticket item. It needs a new roof. It needs new floors, like throughout the entire house. New ceilings for sure in the room with the mural, because I think there was a fire there that ruined the ceiling slash floor. So that all has to be redone. Okay, there's a lot of things that have to be done in this house. But anyways, the house is 2,490,000 Czech crowns. So 2.49 Czech crowns, million Czech crowns, which in US dollars, when I last did the conversion, it was 121,000, like 200 US dollars. So I feel like the house is a good price. It is like obviously for the size, it's a great price. And yeah, like I really like the house. So we will see. One thing, we're not sure about the area. It is next to a spa town. So, and we were looking at Airbnb because with this house, it would be a lot to remodel. It's huge. So it would be very difficult to remodel everything and get it all taken care of. But I feel as if the earning potential for this house is there. With the Airbnb unit on one side, I was thinking we could do the remodel for the Airbnb unit first and like live there while we're getting all of that done. And then once that would be done absolutely first, and that's where we would live while we slowly remodel the rest of the house. And once we got it done enough, we could move out of the Airbnb unit or short term rental unit, and then we could start renting out that short term rental. Plus, I could open a cafe. I think it would be super fun. I don't know if there's any money, if I would make a profit, but it would be fun. Okay. So, what do you guys think? I love this house, but let me know what you guys think. We very much like it. This was a house we saw it and we drove away to check out the area, and they're like, "We love this house. We need to go back." So after the realtor had already left, we had already left. We ended up driving back to check out the house a second time because we're like, "Wow, we love this house." It was so cute. And like I said, it has okay, I don't remember about the wiring now. It might have old electricity. Okay, that's a big budget item also. We would have to okay, we have to go to the drawing board. We really need to look at the finances to see if we can make this house work within our budget. But dream house for sure. Okay, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.